everybody. It is October 30th. It's Sunday night, not Friday, which we usually do because we had a couple of scheduling conflicts. But at the very end of the night, we will have finally recorded this episode. This is the house review, or I guess movie in review, sort of retrospective of the film My Soul to Take, which is a 2010 film by Wes Craven. This was originally slated to be released in the end of 2009 and was announced by Wes Craven in 2008, 3 years into his hiatus in filmmaking. So he ended a filmmaking hiatus with this barn burner of a movie. And so the reason why we watched this film is because it is kind of renowned, at least online, within some critic circles, of being Wes Craven's biggest mistake. And my favorite part, we've had a couple of preliminary discussions, but we've tried to keep it to a minimum. My favorite part about having seen this film is that the whole house took this movie in a lot of different ways, including both Phil and Devery, who watched it with us. So I kind of want to just, I feel like we don't need to be following it exactly to when certain things happened. It doesn't need to be in the order of the film or that the order that events happened in, but if we could keep it at least somewhere close to that, that'd be great. So I think the best thing to do is just to kind of open up, and if you took any notes about anything, to kind of go with it. I definitely, the first thing that I noticed coming into this film is it has, and I actually, because it's no secret, I wasn't going to pay to watch this movie. So I found it online, and I shared the link online. It is one of the hardest cold openings I have ever experienced. I thought the film had paused and was buffering because the long, silent, complete dead air of a black screen before the fucking title card rolled in. It is 13 seconds of nothing, and it goes. The name of the production studio, I can't remember who it is. Rogue Pictures. It was like, "Are you a rogue?" Something like that, and then nothing for 13 long fucking seconds, and then just
the first thing out of it.
The first thing out of it's the fucking prayer.
Honestly, it was so long. It was like, "Are you rogue?" But it was like a Dora the Explorer prompt. Was I supposed to speak?
Were you supposed to yell? Yeah, I don't think I am rogue. You're right. Yeah, so
I think I'm pretty rebellious. Yeah.
So the movie opens up to our what ends up being our typical family man, this guy named Abel, who has severe schizophrenia and is living this kind of utter chaos. Who finds out that he is the Riverton Ripper, which is
schizophrenia. Or
it was I think it's just what the Wikipedia.
They don't know how science works.
What the Wikipedia denotes it as is just straight up schizophrenia.
Because you can believe everything you read on the internet.
Yeah, so he ends up going. Well, this is not only is it just that with the Wikipedia, but it's the plot delivery from the studio, like marks it as such, which is kind of ironic because the character who plays, I can't remember the name of the character, but not in the movie.
I thought the main character's name was Adam.
The main character Adam, or
the main character, or
Bug. Yeah, Bug's real name. Yeah, so Bug also played a character from Bates Motel who had multiple personality syndrome.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of a weird, ironic casting decision, but I guess it makes sense. I guess you're kind of A-typing somebody by picking up someone who can do a role.
Isn't he a little young to be typecasts?
At this point,
okay, listen.
You're looking for
No. Okay, let's start this. So, all these kids are supposed to be 16 fucking years old, right?
Right. At least all but the girl, his sister.
They were all like early to mid 20s when they were casted in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
but that's how TV works.
I'm watching Angel now, and hello, he was like nigga's 30.
But the biggest thing about that was like they didn't make a great effort to make them look like 16-year-olds.
Exactly.
Like at least I guess
Dinkelberg has a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, fucking what's his name? Dunkelman. Yeah, Dinkelberg.
Alex.
Dinkelberg. No, a blind guy that can navigate an entire town at all times
through
of the
the
day.
woods.
Yeah,
through
I don't think makeup is your biggest plot hole.
Yeah. the guy, the jock character. I thought before Brandon,
Yes, Brandon.
before they established
The diamond.
I have
that the
the
characters
douchebag,
were
but
16, because it was never at any point in the beginning of the movie or at any you had to infer and eventually reach the conclusion that these were high schoolers, because at the very opening they were doing their little opening ceremony, and Brandon looks like he's a fucking frat guy fresh out of
Who
college.
made that fucking
I thought it was college.
Ripper puppet thing?
Jay,
was
guy,
my
the Asian.
Jay, yeah.
the sad
Asian
token
guy.
Asian. that
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
first.
Why don't you kill
Which
the
gave
Asian
me my
authors,
favorite
honestly?
meme. Can I drop it now?
Yeah, no, it worked.
I spit in the river. I spit in the river.
Right.
My
And
personal
she
favorite
spits in the
meme.
river for good luck not to get killed.
Which
And then-
one?
That's for shut the fuck up. That's for shut the fuck up.
Oh, that's for shut
Oh,
the
that
fuck
was
up.
good.
This
Yeah.
movie curses at odd times that you would expect a
Who gives
teenager
a
to
fuck?
curse.
Who gives a fuck about your fucking unborn child? I'm
Well,
like,
this movie is like an
Yeah.
awkward teenager.
Fuck your unborn child. I was like,
Yeah.
why do you care?
Or
You
the
just
fact
killed
that,
him.
or the fact that Bug doesn't want to say the F word.
Or the fact that his
Like,
his
he's
name
like,
is Bug. There's
that's
no
a bad
explanation
word.
for that nickname.
So it's kind of what I thought was kind of fucked up when they part of the I don't want to spend too much time pointing out plot holes, because that's what this movie is.
A giant.
For whatever reason before, so apparently the curse of the Riverton Ripper had kind of made its way into the local mythology, but they forced 7 preemies to be friends because they were all born premature. Like, that was the thing, is that there's 7 premature births all happened on the same night, and they all this and that. So it's like on top of these kids all being, in this situation that they're in, are all being the same age. Yeah, they're all premature. Like, they didn't really play. There was no reason for that to have anything to do with this. It could have just been the
Just
7
arbitrary.
kids that were born on this day, but instead they're like, wait, we're gonna make them
What-
premature
but
births.
No, the reason they did that is because it's more unlikely and uncommon that you'd have
That many.
7 premature babies in one town.
Okay.
Right.
But they're all
Yeah,
in a club
but-
together and they all
How
do this
good?
ritual.
How much is that? Like that seems wasted.
Yeah,
it
but
was like
that's why they did it.
not only are they all born in the same day in the same damn hospital that this guy kind of almost died,
But it
maybe,
was all in
Okay.
it was all
but all in the same day. Not to mention the reincarnations of his personalities, but they were born before he died,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
kind of defeats the
But
purpose
see,
of
it wasn't
reincarnation.
that. Okay, it would have made sense because they set it up in the beginning. The black cop lady's like in Haiti. She was the ambulance.
Why'd they get
Yeah.
Michonne for this?
I was just saying it was
Michonne.
Michonne.
Yeah.
The only person to do
Oh my
anything
god,
after
it's
this.
Michonne. I didn't
Yeah.
connect that either.
That was Michonne with short hair.
Oh my god.
As soon as I saw her, I was
so
like,
you gotta
Michonne,
believe
what the
her
fuck?
now.
Like, you're the only one to do anything after
She's the
this.
only
But
one
when
who
she
can act.
says that the whole multiple personality thing in Haiti, they call
Call
that
it multiple souls. Yeah.
They set it up.
No, they didn't, because here's the dumb
No, because
part.
they didn't follow it.
They set it up, but they never followed
I'm
through.
getting
But they
to that.
referenced like 5 different cultures in this random American story
okay,
and only
why-
stuck to Native American culture.
Why?
So I
what?
somehow
Why?
got
Why
pizza
didn't Bug
sauce in my
have split personality
cleavage?
disorder? Though? Because they set it up.
They actually did-
Let me go through a few
Yeah.
little
Yeah,
points
go
of view. Let me. Okay, so my first note was okay. The hand in the belly in the beginning of the pregnant woman was creepy. That's besides the point. Her name was
Yeah.
Miss King.
Yeah, Lacey pointed that out too. Lacey, like the very first scene's a hand popping out of the belly. And Lacey's
was
like, "Oh,
really
that's
creepy.
fucking gross."
Disgusting.
Yeah.
But her name was Miss King. I didn't catch that until the second time I watched
Miss
it.
King?
Yes, and one of the 7 kids, the black kid was Jerome King, okay? Not Bug King, not Alex King. Alex was the hand in Miss fucking King's belly.
Alex was?
Yeah.
But I thought
that was Bug.
That was Bug.
Yeah, Alex is Bug. He was the fetus. But the mom's last name was King.
No.
What?
No. Bug
Yeah.
is the main character.
No,
Alex
the
was
main
the
character
guy who
is
was
the
slasher.
main character is
This
Bug.
movie is so bad we're
The,
getting
the
confused
slasher
critiquing.
was Alex.
Yeah.
The
No,
main
it's like
character.
confusing.
no, the
No,
main.
Ricky,
the-
I thought, was the
No.
best friend.
No,
no,
Alex.
that's
No,
Alex.
Abel. Abel's the slasher.
Abel is
Adam is his son.
Adam
They
is
call
his
him
son.
Bug.
That's Bug. You said
that's
Alex.
Catch that?
Alex.
Abel?
Adam, not Alex.
Did you
Okay.
catch that? Abel and
Yeah.
Adam.
Scratch that. Okay.
Abel
My
and
logic
Adam.
is still right.
Adam. Abel's the son of
Okay,
Adam.
yes, but his last name is not King. It's all about the last name is the important thing. His mom's last name was King. She was white. fucking married to a schizo personality guy, right? But Jerome's last name is King, setting it up for personal or split personality disorder. When his best friend Ricky and him are in the hallway and they start talking the exact same time, saying the exact same thing, mimicking each other miraculously.
Oh, that was Alex and Adam.
Alex, okay.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
sorry.
Alex. Jerome's a
and
black
Bug.
man.
Two
Yeah.
men- yeah.
It was Alex. That was Alex
There is
and
no
Bug.
Alex.
Yeah.
Did I just pull it out of my
there's,
ass?
no,
No,
there's
Alex
Alex.
is the guy with the fluffy hair.
Dunkelman.
Alex is Dunkelman.
Dunkelman.
Alex is the kid who at the very end was in the costume killing people. That was Alex.
Oh, okay.
Alex was the one who was in the costume
He's
killing
basically
people.
Bender
and
from
Alex
Breakfast
and
Club.
Bug were the one that were standing in front of each other. Bug was the one that was copying Alex. Bug was the fetus.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still,
Yeah.
my logic is still right. It's leading for split personality disorder. All 7 motherfucking kids, all preemies, were supposed to be one fucking preemie. In my head, I'm putting this together. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. But then Brandon dies,
Yeah.
and his death is real. And I was like, well, that blows a hole in my fucking theory.
Oh yeah. How did
Well, first the religious kid gets killed after the Asian.
No, first, yeah, no, well, but she could have been a split
Penelope.
personality.
Yeah.
I thought.
No, she was because
I
it,
thought
she was.
Disappeared.
I thought that Bug had inherited all 7 souls of his father. Split personalities.
Yeah.
And that the evil soul of his father, the killer, the Ripper,
Yeah.
was killing off his other weaker, protective personalities.
You're trying to make a better movie.
I am! Yeah!
Yeah,
It would
that was
have been
not
so
that well
much
thought out.
better!
Because what you're
And they
doing is
set it
like,
up.
how do we unfuck this movie to the
Wait.
point where it's a good
Yeah, my
number
movie
21?
in my head was
Wait.
so much better.
What?
You're making a good number 21. is what
I'm
you're
making
doing.
you think my thoughts, aren't I?
No,
You're putting it together.
That is what happened in the movie. The Ripper was killing off the weaker personalities.
That's what
They were
that
actually
like
she's
all
talking
psychologicals,
about-
which
she's
Yeah, I thought it was all in Bug's head.
I felt like the entire movie was all in his head. All of these kids, all the scenes with like him
Because the
killing
whole
a Ripper. I
intro
thought it
was in his
all
head.
In his head.
In the head of
What I
It
did-
would have been badass,
Okay.
wouldn't it?
It would have made more sense if they stuck to one mythological culture to half-ass kind of reference for
Right,
the movie.
right.
Because it's like you've got the Haitian multiple soul shit
Yeah.
plus the spiritual condor fucking soul gathering
Well,
crap.
open
Yeah,
the movie.
which
Oh
was
my
never
God.
explained.
The Condor
I love
presentation,
it.
though.
Well, hold on. Wait, that's,
Can we just talk about the
That- I was
Condor
gonna say, that's-
presentation
oh, God.
for a minute?
That's kind of
GG.
perfect because that is one of the literal next things that I have written down on here is
What the fuck is happening with the radio?
what the fuck is happening on the radio? Like I have never had a movie that decided to tell its exposition and its story just
the
through
birding
background
hour.
radio. Like
The
there's
birding
just,
hour with
dudes,
Mr.
dudes
Cooper.
doing nothing that has to do with anything, and there's just a radio show going. I was like,
I thought that was also in his head. I thought that was another split personality like moment.
Yeah, you were watching a whole
See,
better
that's
movie.
what. See, that would be true if it was good and it was like,
If it
oh,
was
let's
a
rip
good
off
movie,
PT.
Wes, what were you thinking?
Turn around.
Yeah.
He had all of the elements. It could have been good.
So in the entire lore of this story, the entire lore of
That's giving it too much credit. Lord.
well, like the entire right. So the entire like first 2 paragraphs of the script are forced into this arduous 45-second moment where all 7 kids. Like apparently, this Ripper Day is the holiday that hits every year that only they know about. That only has something to do with being 16 for some reason. But when they get all the way down to it, that whole if you were to come into that movie theater having never seen a trailer, having never heard anything about it, and you had missed the first 10 minutes of this movie, had you walked into the conversation that the kids had next to the lake before they fucking
Oh, you mean
they
next to
started
the ambulance that mysteriously exploded?
exploding ambulance.
Yeah, it was like not even GTA
Exploding, it's
status.
got to
It
do
wasn't
it.
even flipped over on it.
There's
No,
no reason that an ambulance would
just
have
fucking
exploded.
detonates. It detonates like it's packed with C4.
Even if it did, it was like, okay, apparently the dude's body was never found. It was like, but since the nigga clearly died and had like a time warp ass reincarnation, why the hell did the goddamn thing he was put on, strapped to, mind you, strapped to a goddamn
Strapped
fucking
to. He was barely strapped
he was
to.
strapped to one of the beds that they used to cart people off. So he was strapped to it, somehow got out of it, still had a fucking sharp object in his hand to fucking kill somebody.
I know how
They
he got
put
out
the
of it,
nigga
though.
that died with the cop that shot him in the same ambulance.
Yeah.
Do they have one fucking ambulance
One ambulance. As far
with the one fucking cop?
it's a very small town. They have a holiday based off the one guy who didn't die.
That's why you call motherfuckers in.
Yeah.
But I do know how he got out.
He exploded out the front of the
evidence bag, right? He was the cop just before the thing exploded and they crashed.
Shit cop.
She was like, "Is that your evidence bag?" And oh no, she was an ambulance worker. She wasn't even a cop. "Is that your evidence bag?" It had his knife in it.
Okay.
He
The condor
he
knife.
was strapped, but he was able enough to grab that knife, cut himself off of the
And they didn't see any of
gurney,
this.
and
Nobody does that.
This was a cutscene.
But that's how that
Is this guy
happened.
Harry Houdini or something?
You don't
But that's
fucking
how that
take.
happened in the movie. I'm not saying.
You don't take the murder weapon with the dead body of the murderer and the cop who shot him in one
that's-
foul swoop.
Apparently, you
The
didn't
night it
live in a
happens.
small town.
That's the thing. He wasn't dead yet.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is when you.
But the thing is even when they think
And he
he's
was-
dead, or if he's terribly injured,
He just
who takes
Well, if he
evidence
was
from a
dead,
crime
he
scene
would've
when
been
the
in
crime is in
coroner
progress?
bag, right?
What?
yeah.
If he was dead, he would have been
Yeah.
in a coroner bag.
Yeah, they didn't
Well,
think he was
but either
dead.
way, I mean, who?
Only got one.
You keep
Only
the
got
evidence
one.
in the
But the
ambulance?
guy
One
was
truck.
shot multiple times, right?
Yeah.
Was he also stabbed or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
And he was still like
And shot in the
he
face.
still had like the strength of like
Because he had souls.
2
Because he had a
Frankensteins.
bunch of
Well,
souls.
because the souls of 7 men.
It was souls.
Which also
Holy
kind of
souls.
defeats.
Wait.
Thank you.
Hold
I
on,
like
Dark Souls
I was
is
about to
stronger.
make a reference to Dark Souls.
Lacey has an epiphany.
I
Yes,
had a really
Lacey?
good thought. Okay, you know how you're talking about how the preemies were born before he died? What about every time he got an injury that would have killed somebody, it just killed one soul?
We keep trying to make things.
Yeah,
And
you
that
can't say
soul
that.
died.
They didn't even say it in the movie, though.
Well, goddamn it.
movie said it.
You're supposed to
Yeah.
infer.
It's a theory.
This is
But
not an
what if-
inference. This is a correction.
Well,
But when
we have
that one
bullets to
soul
both.
died,
Right?
it went into one of the preemie babies.
Backup lives.
So that's how
That-
he supposedly didn't die right away
If
with all of
if
those
the end of the
injuries.
movie followed my theory, we'd have that good.
All that makes me want to do is watch the first fucking 5 minutes of this movie
Me
again.
too.
And see if he got shot 7 times.
Yeah.
Well, he got shot and he got stabbed and the ambulance
Yeah, but was it
crashed.
7
and, like, there's like,
times?
well, what I'm saying is, there's,
Yeah.
you know,
No, but I mean, it just makes me wonder if that's
yeah,
maybe what
if
they
that
were
is an
shooting.
actual
You know how your
But-
brain
but what
corrects
the-
things
but what the
when
most-
people say it wrong automatically?
Yeah.
You're doing that with the whole movie.
The point is that small conversation that they had gave every ounce of detail that you could have. There was no like exploring the story. There was nobody who was going to come around and say, "Well, you know that the 7 of you are the sprint." None of it. No, it's just we're just going to have Brandon stand on top of a pedestal and say, "This movie is about the guy who died in the earlier scene."
Nothing else is revealed until Leah and
What I was really
Yeah.
waiting
Like, there's
for.
no story progression.
No,
for
no story
over an
progression.
hour.
All of the story
shit,
progression
I didn't
happens.
realize. Yeah.
The story
Nothing
progression happens
People
in
got killed,
30 fucking
nothing
seconds,
else happened.
and then the movie literally starts when the Asian kid dies.
Yeah.
But it like from the fucking moment it starts, here's all of the story. Here's all the progression that we can give you. That we're all gonna die tonight, and then you just watch people die, but nothing actually fucking
Yeah,
changes.
I literally
That's
wrote it
true.
down. It didn't. Leah and Bug. That revelation happened an hour and a half in the movie. There was like a half an hour left.
There's 27
and that was the
minutes
first
left.
reveal of something.
Anything.
And almost over.
The rest of it was
over an
just
hour.
murder. It
You
was
think
just
you would
murder
give
after
like a little
murder after
character
murder.
development, just small, simple shit.
None.
It was like, so why do people call you Bug?
None whatsoever. Not only was there any, there was no character development. They would present a brand new character just with a truckload of baggage, like the crazy fucking hardcore religious girl,
Penelope.
and you're just supposed to fucking accept that.
Okay,
like
wait.
you're just
She's
supposed
not
to.
a
take-
believable character. I mean,
She was a Jehovah's Witness.
dude, I like that. Religious girls at college aren't like this. They don't just go up to you and quote scripture because they
This
sound
is
like
in
a
high
crazy
school.
person.
That's not true.
High school.
There's always a few. There are a few that has happened at VVC.
I mean,
Well,
I
yeah,
have been
maybe a
told in high
little
school
bit.
what's going
Her
on.
lack of character actually fits
think
into
you just
my
pissed
split
somebody off.
personality fucking theory.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
they didn't give them enough substance. That's why
Substance.
So
what
I had,
substance can you have?
I had
this movie,
really?
not much.
I mean, really.
I had two thoughts that happened back to back, and the first one was this supposed to be a book? Like, it seems like this movie was probably supposed to be a book.
It was supposed to be a rough draft, nigga.
Yeah, it
What's
was
the song about books?
Yeah, and then the next
what?
line that happened right after that was, "Holy shit!" There's a lot of literary references happening in this movie. Like
Edgar Allan Poe
they
doll.
were just rattling off full fucking like sections of plays and movies and books, and like everybody talked to each other in this Shakespearean manner. Like no one could have a regular conversation. Everybody had to rattle some fucking quote off to each other, and it happened so many times.
And they were all
through
high
the movie.
schoolers, right?
Right, they're all
what
high
kind of
schoolers.
high schoolers do this?
You okay,
shit?
Bill?
Underachieving high schoolers.
My foot fell asleep.
Might add. A bunch of underachieving high schoolers that don't even know how to spell Shakespeare are suddenly quoting things back and forth from Edgar Allan Poe and Shakespeare. I don't care if you heard those things in high school. You're
Can
not
we
quoting
talk about Leah, the sister, for a minute?
So that's great because my
What sister?
next quote says, and this is obviously this is in the beginning of the movie. Who the fuck is Fang and what the fuck is happening?
Can I just say, mine says.
That is a perfect example of this movie going, hey, here's a character, and you're like, what? How? What? Where?
Mine?
What is like? And
How did we slip Mean Girls into the fucking horror story?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Because that was
note
exactly
is
what it was.
Literally, the Fang Zone. Stupid.
Yeah, the Fang
Yes.
Zone. What is the Fang Zone? Why does the Fang Zone exist? Why do
they call her Fang? Her name's fucking
Maybe the
Leah.
Fang Zone-
Why does a
Twilight
bitch who
Zone.
is 20 years old and still in high school still get any social power
No.
over the entirety of the populace?
Not only that, but why does she?
Because she saw her father, the Ripper.
And she has only one thug?
Why does she?
No,
right,
no, and she's pretty.
She runs a
No,
mafia.
Brittany was her thug too.
Right?
Yo, like it's like she's.
$5,000 profit. She had a boardroom meeting in the bathroom with 3 other kids, and she is 20.
And that happened
You
as
just
soon.
said she only had one other fucking follower, but she had 2.
No, she had
The other
one
was
thug.
Brittany, and
thug.
she could
She
have
only
been a
had one
personality.
thug. Nobody
She
who
should
makes
have not been there.
$5,000 off of 5 different actual organizations. She said such and such paid us this month.
That's true.
Like an actual
She was
protection
making
money.
a shitload of money.
And quoted actually straight up $5,000 profit
but
for
what I
this
love-
month.
what I love
and
is
you
that
have
they-
only one thug?
What I love is that they presented that. And they just kind
Out
of
of
expected
nowhere.
you to fucking accept it. Like,
Well, like
they're like,
everything
here's
else in the
Fang.
movie.
What the
The
fuck
pain
is Fang?
scale for
She's like,
Sentinel.
oh, we're selling a bunch of stuff. You're like, oh, this is going to be interesting. Maybe she's gonna, maybe
then
this is
it
gonna come
leaves
into
in 5
play for
minutes.
some fucking reason. Maybe we need to know more about this mafia
I
or
need
like
to know
about.
what
No,
each number is.
she just told Brittany to tell Brandon to beat people up, but only when she said.
And she had a number.
a number.
And what?
A
yeah.
pain
What
scale.
number is what?
Yeah.
Maybe he needs a
What the
turn.
hell
That
is
bitch
a 20?
10. Make it a 20.
Number
Whoa.
one is
Whoa,
like
whoa,
a
bitch.
split or a slap upside the head.
In reality,
And
these
number
kind of people
20
can't
is a
even do
curb
math.
stomp.
So
If you pull in $5,000 a month in extortion money,
You
and
be stopping some people.
you have more than one stupid high school jock doing your bidding.
yeah.
That's true. Well,
Better
maybe-
question.
Maybe
She
high
kept
school
trying to
jock.
push him off onto her friend slash high school mafia employee.
Yeah.
And it was like, he's a diamond. He's good for
In
you.
the
It was
rough.
like, why aren't you big ass bitch fucking the jock?
Because he's like 16. There's like a 4-year gap
Sounds
between
like
them.
a dumb.
She's like,
It was illegal for her to fuck with
she
him.
has a mafia.
Yeah, everything else she's doing is illegal, but hey, underage.
Who, by the
sex,
way,
whoa.
her thug is already a pedophile.
Yeah,
Which one?
The thug knocked up a small
the
child.
15-year-old. Yeah.
Oh, I have a note about that.
hold on a second. So
Sorry, I keep thinking
hold
it
on a
looks
second, because
20.
this is
They are
talking
20.
about teenagers at this point. This movie is like a teenager that does not like know what it wants to be. It doesn't fucking know. It doesn't want to be.
Doesn't wanna be
a teen
Mean
slasher.
Girls.
You know what? You
Doesn't
know what?
want to be Mean Girls.
16
Doesn't mention its own
16
family
years old.
until
Does it
close
want
to
to
the
be a
end.
walk-off reality TV show? Because I've got a note that
Oh, it
says
could have been
16
a
and
TV
pregnant.
show.
What it means in this movie, it means your father's going to be alive and stuff, your mom is just going to die, and your sister's joining a cult.
Jason.
They said
plus
that.
the breakfast
Like,
Club.
oh, you're pregnant, your
Yeah, it
sister's going to
reminded
join
me
the
of a
cult.
very shitty version of the Breakfast Club. Like Dunkelman is the bad guy, and
I don't even remember Dunkelman?
The bad boy.
Then-
Dunkelman's Alex.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen the
Dunkelman
Boondocks,
is the guy
is
at the
the
very
record.
end of the movie was revealed to be the killer.
if you've
The guy
ever
with
seen
the
the
hair
Boondocks
and
in
the
this movie,
jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, like Bender, right?
The one Dunkelman's the kid that got put in the Condor costume to fly around the room.
Okay,
Dunkelman's
okay.
the one that got
So
punched
is
and was like, it
Ricky
feels
in the
good.
movie? Because I wrote down Ricky.
Who's Ricky?
I don't think
Scratched
there's
it
a
out,
Ricky at all.
but
don't
Yeah.
even.
Maybe I just misheard.
Yeah, I don't think there's a Ricky at all.
Okay.
No.
Alex is Ricky. in
Alex, yeah, that's
I
Alex.
have a question for the group. Have you seen the Boondocks?
Yes.
The Saints?
No.
The Boondocks, the show,
The show.
No.
cartoon. If you had seen the Boondocks and you remember Stinkmeaner first showing up, I swear to God that little black kid was the blind nigga samurai because he was going across a town that was 90% fucking forests. Blind, with nothing but a stick, going up and down people's fucking houses and ropes at any given time of day.
That's a very
And-
good movie.
And he knows exactly who you are and where you are in like the whole general vicinity. See, I'm blind. I could like walk straight up to Phil and be like, "So I see you're playing this one phone game. Yeah, so such a great
yeah,
game."
Penelope turns the corner. He's like, "What's up, Penelope? Like, what do you smell her? Like, oh, I know that
Maybe.
religious pussy anyway."
Maybe.
No, see, the worst part is like, smelling would have been fucking hilarious and would have been good comic relief. What he said was, "You're wearing those squeaky shoes again." I was like, that nigga's a samurai.
Yeah. So I definitely
Here, footsteps, motherfucker.
Fang, aka Leia, who we later find out is Leia, but Fang was definitely the most.
3/4 of the movie in, you find out he has a sister, and it's this bitch you never
And
met.
it's this bitch that right, but then like they wait until the movie's almost over to go. This is why Fang is important, and you're
Remember
like,
that little girl from the beginning that saw her dad kill her mom and then died?
completely forgot about
That's
that.
her!
yeah, no,
Like,
but
oh, fuck.
but I just love that they were just like, oh, by the way, this is
I like it when
this
she
is who
kicked
Fang
his fucking
is.
face in, just
Yeah.
beat it, like that piss poor acting of their fight.
Yeah, their little fight. Yeah. So, but the following thing is, and it was a little less of a foreshadow, and I feel like this is about the same time that all of us caught on, because this would have happened when Dunkelman got punched and was trying to teach Bug to just kind of take it and be like, yeah, thanks, give me another one, like being all weird and S&M about it. But I wrote down
At the school, right?
yeah, I wrote down Dunkelman is literally a psychopath. Like I knew so like but right as I wrote that down I was like, you know what? After the Asian kid died, I feel like they almost as
the
if
second it happened.
almost as if this
Who
was
left
accident.
first?
No, it was almost as if this was accidentally put in the movie because the Asian kid dies. The following scene is Dunkelman jumping in his window and hiding from Quinn, his stepdad. But like that kind of like when I was like, wait. Somebody just killed the Asian kid, and then Dunkelman's like getting back into his room. Like I was like,
Oh, no, that was
Dunkelman's the killer. Like I was
Because
like,
at the end
it was
it's revealed,
fucking
they
like
just
10 minutes
gave it
in.
away.
I was like 10 minutes into the movie. I'm like, Dunkelman's the killer. And then at this point, after the Fang Zone shit happens, and after Dunkelman's like,
When they're outside the
you just
bathroom,
gotta get
that's where-
hit. Like yeah, I was like. Dunkelman's a fucking psychopath. I was like, Alex is fucking, he's bent. Like, I knew immediately. So, me, Lacey, Cody, and Diana, at least, like,
Yeah.
at that exact moment, were like, Dunkelman's the killer. Like, it was like before anybody
I guess
else had
I
even
kind of
died.
knew because I thought he was the sole, like.
I'm not gonna lie, I
Bug.
didn't care.
Oh, and then, yeah, so,
nobody
so
cared at this point.
speaking of which, at this,
As soon
I
as
didn't care if she
Brandon
just said the
died,
title
I
of
was
the
out.
movie.
I was like, you know what? No.
As soon I was like, did y'all just let this blind motherfucker go home by himself?
yeah, no,
In the forest?
Walking stick.
At night? She didn't even have the stick in that
Guys are
scene.
shitty
no, he didn't have a
friends.
stick.
It was
He had a
folded
stick
up.
for one scene.
Even in Stranger Things, they like kind
Was
of
it?
go kind of
It was
close
folded up.
to home.
You saw it?
I saw it in like, when they're
Break off
behind the
the
log,
very
right?
end.
But yeah, the next thing that kind of happens in the movie, or
I stopped
at
taking
least
notice.
this is kind of important. This is my next note was it's been 2 days. Asian guy is still missing. No one fucking cares. Like nobody even notices that
Yeah,
the
nobody
Asian guy's
noticed
not
any of them
there.
dying.
No one notices that he's been missing. Nobody
And that
notices.
plays
Do you
in
notice, though?
to my split personality.
When the Asian
theory.
dude, when you notice that when the Asian dude goes missing, just before he left, they said, "Oh, we got this important shit to do tomorrow. I'll see you there.
I'll see you.
Remember
And
to
then
spit in the
nobody
river.
there. Yeah. No.
And then he dies, and then they don't see him at this important shit, and everybody's like, fuck it.
Fuck that Asian.
Fuck it. Who cares? It's just
And then, so I wrote Asian guy is missing, no one fucking cares. And then my next line is, they literally found his body as I wrote that last sentence. So that was like the moment when they finally found the Asian kid. But like they just, and even then they were just like, there's a dead Asian kid here. All right, I'm getting back in the car. Like they literally just kind of
movie
get up
doesn't
and they
care about
fucking
any of
drive
the
off.
characters.
But you
No.
think they would, if this town is so small and the cops are so incapable of dealing with this threat, you would think they would make it an extra motherfucking point with the goddamn Jehovah's Witness. So her parents are somewhere.
So
The Jehovah's Witness extra protective mom should have
Well, this
been
is
like,
the-
Not if she was a split personality.
well, here's
Just
the
gonna
thing.
keep saying it.
So
small
the-
towns don't let their children wander when a murderer killed one of their kids.
If they all lived inside Bug's head, nobody would know.
That would be the better plot device.
That wasn't what
know.
happened though.
That's
I
not
know,
even what's
that's why I
written
don't
into the
remember
plot.
anything
Yeah.
after a certain point. Stop.
So everybody has their favorite memes and things. I just have the words prayer conditioning written down about
Yes,
6
they wrote
times.
that down too.
Wrote that down in our
It just says prayer conditioning, prayer.
My
Because
soul to keep.
she says when it starts getting hot, just turn up the prayer conditioning.
I got another one.
I can't fucking believe she said
We
that.
wrote down another one.
It was an inside joke, dude.
Way dead.
Way dead.
Way dead.
I
Yeah.
think the cop actually said that. Is he dead?
The girl,
Way
the
dead.
black girl cop.
Really bad.
Michonne. Michonne was like, she's dead.
That's
She
why
did.
I said cop.
Way
because
dead.
At the beginning of the movie, she was
She's
a
a
paramedic,
paramedic,
and then
yeah.
after all that shit happened, she's
a cop.
magically a cop. No, she's the
She's
coroner.
forensics.
She's the coroner. That's what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, but prayer
the
conditioning
prince.
is pretty much one of my favorite. Like,
Is that really an upgrade if you're still in the same shit town?
no.
I don't know.
With how many murders a year to,
I
to
mostly
justify your
enjoyed
position?
the Condor presentation. I'm not gonna lie. When it fucking vomits in Brandon's fucking face
Yeah.
and then shits, like it's
Why do you have a fully committed forensics office in a town that hasn't had a death in 16 years?
That's a fair
Yeah.
point.
16 minutes.
There's one of those questions that you have, isn't it?
So this movie is an hour and 47 minutes long. 16 minutes, 45 seconds, and 3 people are already dead. There's only 4 left. What the fuck is happening?
Why are people not, why is there not an immediate permanent curfew?
No, why in the course of less than a few hours have 4 people died and yet no one's still
Here's
fucking
something
dead?
else.
What about the detective too?
Wait.
Wait, you mean the one? 4 people died in like with a span of a fucking week and you still have not a damn cop outside the city?
No, none.
What were you
That is when you call in the FBI. Because this is a cult act.
for
I
real?
mean, what about the fact they killed Britney off screen? Like, they don't even show it happen. So we're just, who gives a shit, you know?
Okay.
So when he kills the blonde girl, is that Brittany?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's just blood, and it just keeps coming, and
Oh,
it just
that
keeps
scene-
going, and
that
like
scene is like 3
they leave
minutes
it
too
like
long.
a half a minute too long. You're just like, okay, we get it.
But the
She's
movie's about an hour
dead.
and 47
Her blood
minutes
is
too
draining
long.
down to her shoe.
Oh, no, that
here's
wasn't
the-
the point. The point is she's Japanese.
What?
Is that something in Japanese movies?
Yeah, those
the
old
blood
samurai
everywhere.
movies with
Yeah.
blood everywhere for 20
Hold on a
seconds.
second. Speaking of off-screen deaths, Alex stepdad. So Alex ends up being the main bad guy.
Right, Quinn is Alex's stepdad's name.
Right.
That was an hour and 17 minutes into the movie.
That was the one
Holy
guy
shit,
that
that
like
time
they
markers.
set up
Yes.
for him to die and for me to look forward to it because he was physically abusing his 16-year-old stepson on screen. I'm like, I fucking hate this guy. I want to watch him die. I want his guts
And
ripped
they
out.
ripped that
One
from
of
you.
one of my
God, he looks
first
red.
one of my first notes is already want Quinn dead. It was like in the moment it started, I was like, man, I hope
He's like a high school bully. You're not gonna hit me, are you? No. Watch by, hits him.
Just hits him. Don't trust anybody.
And they kill him off in dialogue.
Yeah, that's true. Like, they kill him off in
I don't
At
dialogue.
least you
remember
saw
that.
Brittany's blood.
No, here's the issue. They kill him off in dialogue that doesn't even sound believable in the context of the goddamn movie.
And not
It
even
sounds like he's
emotionally
lying.
satisfying.
Have you killed
Yes,
people?
killing his dad.
No. Well, I killed my dad. Like,
No, are you not putting 2 and 2 together? It was like, people are dying all over the place, man. Like 4 of our friends just died in like the same fucking like week. Not even a full 7 days, like a week. And then your fucking friend shows up in your house and was like, oh, it's cool. I guess they're that close that he can just show up. And it was like, oh, you killed your
doesn't
dad.
just show up,
You
he
say this
fucking
only
pops
after
up.
I say I might have killed people.
He comes in the
He doesn't just
window.
show up. He just comes through the window because I just go through the window in my friend's house.
He gets
That's how I
suspicious
get in
enough to
them.
play fucking knife shenanigans, but not suspicious enough to realize his best friend killed his dad and just immediately came to his house.
Yeah.
And how did Jerome climb up there and get in the closet?
Jerome got
Turn off
up
your
the
eye.
same way Alex
fuck?
did.
Yeah.
So Jerome got up the fucking rope or whatever.
No,
to
got
get-
from his house through the goddamn forest, 3 neighborhoods, up the fucking road.
up the rope,
he was
at
across
the right
the rope,
window.
through the right
blind.
window,
Yes.
and then had the
night.
audacity to say someone's here, and got stabbed, and found the closet, turned and closed the door. He's
went in the
not just
closet,
blind;
why?
he's a fucking superhuman. There's a whole story happening in here.
He's an untrained young fat daredevil.
yeah.
I was hoping he was the murderer.
You were hoping it was
Me
Jerome.
too.
I had the feeling. I was
Blind
like,
nigga
what if it's the
samurai would have been the
blind
best
guy,
twist.
For real.
At least it would have been funny.
Yeah. So at this point, we're
Why did he show up that night though?
this point we're over
Because
half the movie.
Dunkelman called him, I guess. He's like,
Yeah.
why are you here?
Oh,
Dunkelman called
Dunkelman
me.
told him
Yeah,
to
Dunkelman
come.
called
Yeah, to like go over to Bug.
Why does
slash
the
out
blind
that
kid have a cell phone?
Listen.
Because he can't talk to people.
Oh, he has no friends.
Dunkelman.
He has 6 friends.
Bug is
Six
obviously
friends.
within walking
Okay.
distance for a blind nigga. You don't need that.
They might be neighbors for all we know.
It would have been cool if they did like a Stranger Things-esque fucking radio.
Oh.
That would have been dope. But
Yeah.
no.
But no.
Well, this
The
is
blind kid just walks up into people's houses whenever he feels like it. Didn't come to the front door. Came up the motherfucking rope. Heard struggling after.
You know, he wants
The
to
vines
be
on the
one
side of the house or
of
something?
kids. He
I'm
wants to
pretty
be,
sure
like,
the
a
super
normal-
nice Christian mom who would loves her son would not let him be so lonely that it's like, oh, you're a miracle blind child that came to give my
somehow he
son
sneaks out of the house?
company in his time of need. Fuck off.
So at this point we were talking about we're talking
Come
about
through the window.
Well, actually, what kind of parent would let their blind son out that late?
None of these people have parents except for Alex and Bug.
and Alex killed one of them.
It's like recess.
Alex killed
except
both of them,
two
actually.
devices.
Yeah. So at this point, we were just talking about how Brittany got killed off screen, but Brittany got killed off screen after
She got
running
attacked off
after running through the woods
She was-
that she walked into to give a blowy to Brandon.
She
Yeah.
wasn't actually going to do it. She walked
Maybe
into
wrote
the
down the
woods
quote.
to get away from him.
Right.
No,
You
she
got
was
time for
doing
that
like
oral?
the dialogue set up was like no, ha ha ha, no, and then next thing you know it was like if you catch me, then I'll give you a blowjob. Was that a rape tag invitation?
That was exactly
The
what
fuck?
that turned out.
It was
to be.
rape tag.
Because it started out with like no. Okay, I'll give you a blowy in the woods, and you start running away from this dude who's going to start charging you. You could have gave him oral. Now he's going to rape you. Like you put yourself in.
It
a
was
worse
rape either
position.
way. The thing is like if she had said no and stayed on the road, she could have just gone the fuck home. And
Or
he would
walked
have
into
blue
the
balls.
park full of people right across the way.
That was right fucking there.
Damn.
But there's a park full of people next to this woods where 2 people just got murdered. Wonder if they're still over there playing baseball.
He's too afraid to have people know about such and such bullshit because he's a goddamn teenager. But he's totally fine with trying to like pressure / tag, chase, rape a bitch through the forest.
And listen, while Brandon was getting killed, like while Brandon was doing his whole thing, like Brittany got attacked off screen as well. She was attacked off screen because like you could
This
see
guy might be the
Then
Flash.
she came back and she had this whole like
I'm Barry Allen. I'm the dumbest man
she was
alive.
bleeding. Her back was bleeding, and then all of a sudden the you
So he
know
ran back and forth.
the dickler came around, and you know he like
He
sorry.
attacks Brittany and then runs over and attacks
Brandon.
and then runs back to kill Brittany. Like he knew that he didn't finish the job.
Yeah, it's a word out of
See,
me.
and I was watching this whole thing.
This
thinking
ghost has
that,
some
like,
damn
they're
good cardio.
all just
real.
figments of each other's
Strong ass
imagination.
legs.
And so I was trying to put it together.
See, that scene
I was
doesn't
thinking
fit in your
too
theory.
hard. No, it was not working very well. This is where the thread started to unravel.
Yeah.
And you know,
In
there's
my
like
theory.
one line in the whole movie where they justify this, and this little shit, this little burner nerd that like gets beat up by his stepdad, kills everybody, and they're like, you know what? It's because he has a soul in him that he fights so hard. He makes
He had
him
a
so
5 o'clock
big.
shadow.
And he had a 5 o'clock shadow. Is it testosterone or is it the fucking soul?
Here's
I
where
don't know.
that falls apart, though. Why have all of these fucking supposed souls, which I will skip the time problem of these niggas being reincarnated as a body is already inhabited by a baby soul? Why didn't anybody else struggle against their shit?
What?
Nobody else struggled against their shit. The murderer was like coinciding with a baby soul that apparently was already a fucking person, and he had to fucking fight for control of that.
Right,
body.
yeah,
When he got
Alex-
stabbed, he's like, oh,
Six
it's so-
other
it's
motherfuckers
so
was just
good.
like, nah, we're good.
He's like, it's so good to be free from him or something like
Yeah,
Why didn't Penelope
It's like
or
no
some
one
other
else.
person pop up in Brittany's fucking mind or
Yeah,
something?
when Brittany got stabbed and picked up, and she was just like, I got rid of that sadistic bitch. Like nobody else was relieved of their soul when they got
Maybe
killed.
it's
They
'cause
just
he was
died.
biologically related to the first guy who inhabited all the souls. Like all the souls inhabited
what
his
about
dad.
That was Bug, not Alex. I thought we were talking about.
No, Alex.
Alex, we're talking
no,
about
no.
Bug again.
Alex is a dickler.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's apparently like he had this like power struggle with like that soul. Mm-hmm. So what Devry's trying to get across is like, well, why didn't anybody else have to like deal with
The soul.
They all
struggle?
like slipped seamlessly.
All except
into that.
maybe Penelope, because she was also kind of like out there,
Off,
eccentric.
weird.
Yeah.
But that was manufactured, and they actually go out of the way with Sam's joke before.
Explain that
When she says
joke.
prayer conditioning,
Yeah.
that is just her personality trait as a human being.
So
Okay, I have another thing that has to do with the souls.
So the-
When
what-
how when they
personalities.
died, right?
Yeah.
And then they went into Bug's body.
Uh-huh.
So why is it when Alex dies, the bad soul doesn't go into Bug's
See,
body?
I was
movie-
wondering.
Or
about that.
does it?
the movie just
Maybe it's
literally
unwanted.
It just
fucking
ended.
stops there.
They
That's what
just
they tried to
stopped. They
film.
didn't,
Yeah.
didn't explain nothing else.
And knowing Wes Craven, there was probably gonna be a second one.
There's a director's cut where he looks back and he gives you those goosebump eyes.
See, the problem is he used to make good movies. and now he-
Honestly, like, listen, it's because the script was like right there, and
This
that's
is not a
why
script.
the Riddler didn't. The Riddler ripped.
Five different people wrote the
This
script.
is a collection of bad ideas on paper bound by staples.
It's like, guys, we don't want to be in this room writing this
Trash
script.
reading.
Why don't we all, like, you do the beginning, you do the middle, I'll do the, like, middle, and then the end, and then you do, like, the conclusion. Okay,
No,
like,
fuck
we'll
you.
just-
I'm doing the ending credit animations.
Okay, that's fine, but let's just merge these ideas tomorrow morning and let's just go fucking go.
Brandon a
I'm gonna make it a bird, and you're gonna make it work.
And he's gonna say,
Why is
you got time for
why
that
is she
oral?
gonna say yes to that? I don't know, just work it in.
Yeah.
What I didn't understand was if Bug is the one of these 7 that has like a mental connection to see the
Why
like,
wasn't
to
he
see
the
the
dead?
experiences and then house the dead souls of all the other 7.
Well, that-
one, why do they retain the mind and appearance of the children and not the original bodiless soul?
Well-
and 2, he's doing this shit while they're still alive.
Well, we were.
Why does this only go one way?
We were talking
Why
about.
are you talking about 7 crazy motherfuckers?
We were talking
was
about all the-
Dickler really possessed
Yes,
by
so.
a soul? Was he just tweaked by his fucking?
No, he was one.
No, at the end his voice changed.
Yeah, his voice
Yeah.
was
Yeah, they did the Ripper.
No, so the crazy thing is, like, we were talking about all these different like cultural connections that it never really sticks with one thing. There was really also never any explanation for Bug's premonitions of seeing the floating dead body's kid in the lake in the mirror,
yeah.
and
They
then
weren't-
looks into
yeah.
another mirror, and Penelope's like walking through purgatory, and she's like,
yeah.
"There's a knife." It's like, so dude, regardless of how you come out of this, you're more bent than any of these fuckers. Like, this guy might have killed his dad and he's trying to kill you now and he wants to convince other people, but you're seeing visions of your dead friends in mirrors. You're fucked no matter what happens
And
after
that
this.
never gets explained.
No, and it never gets touched. Like, it never for a minute.
And why is he only
Well, plus he's the son
Exactly.
of a killer.
Yeah.
No, it does
My
get
theory
explained.
would explain it.
In the worst way possible. Because they dropped that stupid 5 seconds of. I'm not even sure if I can call this exposition. Exposition has to
No,
be
there's
presented.
no exposition.
There was a tidbit of dialogue, is what I'll call
Was
it.
it on the radio?
No, I wish it was
That's-
on the
that's
radio.
where most of the
Because
story
then they would
comes
at least
from.
drown out all the other noise and make
Yeah.
me listen to the fucking radio.
Yeah.
Besides,
Some side dialogue where they talk about some myth about the condor in Native American culture. And apparently, since he vaguely references this crap in his day-to-day life with that stupid project where he had his friend dress up as a condor, he's the condor.
Yeah.
Which means
Right.
he houses the souls of things and
feed on
grows
the- I feed on
larger
the
and wiser. And I was like, nigga, that don't explain shit.
Yeah.
Why did the condor shit come in after the personality split from one body?
Right.
Was he supposed to be absorbing everybody's souls
Yes.
to do
Yes.
himself?
But the thing is like, that makes it seem like the murderer was originally a condor and all the people he killed are the souls that he sucked in.
But
which
then-
would have been better. But they didn't even fucking say that.
But then, when the first like 3 people were being killed, Bug never said like, oh, you know, Brittany thinks this, says this, you know, Brandon thinks this, or you know,
Well, 'cause
Jay
he
thought,
doesn't know what they think or anything until they're dead.
yeah, they were dead.
But I mean, but he
already knows
didn't
the
know-
thoughts
yeah,
and
he
feelings
didn't
of
know
these
any-
people as he's been growing up his whole life, which is why he thinks he's crazy and why people think he's crazy. He's been experiencing 6 other people's lives off and on randomly
The other
through his eyes.
The other fucked up thing about speaking of that is what's this shit about someone saying that he's killed people before? That gets brought up
That
and it gets
rumor?
brought up and then just
Never explained.
dropped. Like,
Never
like
explained.
His
Not
sister
even once.
said it.
yeah, it's just like, you've killed people. Like
His sister,
we already
okay.
know that you've killed people. Blam, that's it. We're never gonna touch it again.
Yeah.
We're just gonna give you that. We're gonna
And
close
he doesn't
the
even
book.
say anything like, what the fuck, sister? Like,
When did I-
he's not even mad about
because
it.
it happens in the Fang Zone where his phone is. She's talking to
Oh,
Brittany,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
who kind of likes him, and was like,
No,
he's
Brittany
been
don't like him.
institutionalized.
Shut up.
No, she
Dude,
she
that
had a crush
just
on
fits into my
Buck.
theory. His whole
Brittany-
She had a crush on Buck.
institutionalization.
Brittany
But
and
he's been
Penelope did.
institutionalized, and he's killed people. Leah is telling Brittany this in the Fang Zone, and the only reason Bug hears it is because his phone was in there.
Phones in there. Yeah.
Well, maybe
I
this is
swear
mean
to God,
girling him.
I'm gonna believe that my theory is what.
Big question though, really big question. Are you telling me that this bitch has been his sister the whole time? Has had somehow she gets called lazy and a dumb piece of shit, kind of by their adoptive mother because it's like I
Their
love you
aunt,
guys,
by the way.
but yeah, their aunt. I love
their
you
aunt.
guys, but Fang, you're kind of a dick. You're in high school and you're like 19 now.
Possibly
You need to
20.
get your shit together and stop being such a mean person.
But she literally could have been Dexter.
But the problem is that she has the ingenuity and determination and resource management to rake in $5,000 a year, at least, as an unemployed teenager in a small town of like fucking less than
Yeah,
5,000.
yeah. You want to know why she hasn't left high school? Because she's already got a career.
She is a legit mafia with only one thug in a town of less than a few hundred
I
people.
love that that's what you're hung up on.
For real though.
Out of this
How do
whole
you
movie.
extort $5,000 out of a small town for your entire high school
for test it's
life?
for test answers? It's, then that,
How do
that's
you
what
not
it was.
bankrupt that entire little town?
You are a legit mastermind, and how do you not have a weapon and 5,000 more thugs?
She's a mastermind. Her brother is a massive creative fucking genius.
Where'd the money go?
Just puts together a meth lab that turns out to be a condor. Like he was sitting there putting like bleach bottles and cut the tops off and running hoses and like he's making meth. Watch, like and I was waiting for it. Then all of a sudden this condor
But
costume
see,
shows up. Like
Where
He
did that
made
money
the
come from?
condor. He made the condor. He was studying. He was listening to the motherfucking Bird Zone radio.
Yeah.
He was
Who
the
does
one
that?
did the presentation.
Who listens to bird watching?
He's
Nerds.
Apparently
the
someone
one that
did.
got in trouble
Really
for the
bad dirt.
condor. And what's his name? Alex didn't, which plays into my goddamn multiple personality fucking
yeah, but
goddamn
your
theory.
multiple, like you said, your
The
multiple
person.
personality thing loses water.
But even the condor
in the
thing gets
woods.
fucked
It
up
only
because it was
loses
condor and
water
the crow.
because they
The
made
crow
a
was
poor
also a
choice.
good thing in Native American culture.
True, but who does this is the person who has a fucking frog anatomy poster on their wall, as well as a frog anatomy shirt or something. Bug. So
he's a frog.
no, he's just
No, he likes the inner workings of animals, which is why people think he's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
yes.
But the fact is like apparently that is all part of his character as the condor. He cares because apparently he has to half-ass kind of hint at he's the mythical motherfucker that cares about cleaning up the earth by destroying living things that are already dead.
Right.
And I was like, that's really nigga. But if one of them's a condor and they did this stupid thing halfway through the movie that one of them's the Condor and one of them's the Crow, but they never explained if the Crow's
Why
the bad
is
thing.
the crow? Where
and
does
if
the
you-
crow come from? Where?
They call it. It becomes a thing.
Was it a
way
crow
too
or a
late.
raven?
It was a crow.
It was
Yeah.
Condor.
It was like you be the crow and I'll be the raven, and the kid that ends up being the killer, he does this stupid weird thing where apparently as a group they made this guardian totem thing
Yeah.
that's just the Edgar Allan Poe
Yeah.
crow.
Yep.
But
That's
yeah, and
Bug's
he,
A literary
yeah, and Bug
reference
made that
again.
and gave it to him and was like, if one of them's the
Shitloads of
crow and one of them's the condor and they're both good things, why the fuck does the killer get to be the crow? Why does the Edgar Allan Crow thing mean anything?
Edgar Allan Crow. So, if you could, because we've pretty much wrapped it up at that point. That's that
beat
whole
this
fucking
thing
train
to
wreck. If
Where'd the
you-
money go?
Starting from
anything.
Last question though.
Right. So
Where'd the money go?
That's where I was gonna. That's where I was gonna go. Is the next thing that we're gonna that I wanted to kind of talk about is I'm not sure how
much you know or how aware you are of like film budgets, but the average major AAA like Universal Studios, Marvel Studios movie budget is somewhere between 90 to 150 million dollars, and that's usually a heavy CGI, lots of big names or whatever. This movie cost a whopping $25 million to put together.
What?
Right, which
no CGI.
which, from what I read, I guess like 8 million of that went into advertising because they were running it before Resident Evil and a couple of other things. 6 million of it went to turn, and this, if you look at this from a cinematography standpoint, this explains so much. $6 million of this budget went into converting this film into 3D. So this is right when movies were getting hammed into 3D, when the fucking Last Airbender ruined the future. Like when they just were like, everything needs to be 3D. It's 2010.
It was Avatar.
So Avatar really kind of
James Cameron.
So like it was just sort of these like, let's take this movie and we're gonna turn it into 3D after the fact. So this was run before the Resident Evil 3D. This was run before the Two Houses from the Left, or whatever the hell the name of that movie is. Whatever the fuck it's called. So on opening weekend, this movie made $6 million. So it made back the money that they spent to make it 3D. And then gross USA and gross international, it literally only made $14 million. So it ended up going down as one of the biggest 3D busts of all time. But then was that crown was taken away from them only a couple of months later by I can't remember, it was some other fucking trash horror movie that came out September of that year.
They're not even the best of the worst.
No, they're not. There were multiple 3D busts that happened in that same period of time.
At least your glasses don't work.
So the people who the guy who scored this movie, I'm not sure if anybody else was paying attention. The score was dismal. It was just a lot of like it was a lot of like very obvious.
We made a note. Wait. We made a note on that actually.
I was one of the last things I wrote. Who the
That's some
hell
cheesy
scored
ass
this?
music at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Bullet point. Cheesy music. 35 minutes, 40 seconds.
Yeah, so the music was cheesy, it was hammy, it was tropey.
Bad
There's a lot of
timing.
dun dun dun. Like there's like a lot of like really bad. The guy who fucking scored this is the guy who scored Scream, which is not great, but he did Terminator 2 and The Hills Have Eyes. So like this guy's been sort of like all
Around
over
the
the place,
block.
but this is just sort of like something that he did. But it was almost like he didn't get paid to score it. Like it sounds and feels so much like a royalty-free fucking cinema score that it was so weak and empty in so many places. So if you could give this movie, like realistically, we're not saying don't judge this based off of whatever you would judge a film by, but not based off of your general like if you were to put this up against your favorite movie or the worst movie you've ever seen, put this somewhere in like what your actual enjoyment of this film as a result of being forced to watch this because of the podcast. What would you give it? We'll start with Deborah. What would you give it out of 5? What would you say?
I would give this a 1 out of 5, specifically as an individual movie, because it failed to follow the procedure that you as a movie maker must follow to have your audience know what the hell is happening.
Right.
You can watch this movie in reverse and actually get the story better.
Wait, give me the foot. Give me the foot.
There we go. Hold on. Road.
Gotta get it before it comes to me.
Oh, get it.
Got him.
All right, special guest cockroach. All right. Anyways,
as
yeah.
I was saying,
So yeah.
it did. If you watch this movie in reverse, got the plot presented to you backwards, it would actually make more sense. You'd know who Fang was right away.
Yeah. You would know what Fang's about, and then the people who died in more significance in that order.
When your movie works better as a fucking flashback, you've made a problem.
Right. Yep. And the black guy would have died first.
Oh, following the trope.
Yeah.
Well, he's blind and black, so they couldn't kill him first because they have two stereotypes to live up to.
Yeah.
The disabled guy always lives longest.
What about you, Diana? So, like I said, in general, but also, what would you rate it as in terms of your rate of enjoyment for having to watch this for the podcast?
Okay, so I do enjoy watching shitty movies. I do. But that one just was...
It was just hard to watch.
It was a little hard to watch. Like, Cody and I had to drink a little bit to get through it. And we had to, like, pause it. Just to, like, talk about it and get our frustrations out about it.
We were able to get through it without pausing it.
Really?
Yeah, we watched the whole thing without stopping.
Which, for those of you listening, is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I cannot sit through a movie for the life of me
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, so-
I have to get up. I gotta move. I gotta do
Not to
something.
trivialize your struggle, but I got you beat. Watched it twice and rewound twice, 2 or 3 times in the middle of it. Just to rewatch it.
That's because it bothered you so much, right?
Yes, it bothered me so much that when I started watching that damn movie, the only question I had wasn't how, when, or how. Any of those questions. Just why.
Yeah. Just trying to find out if there's a reason, right?
But I was like, I missed something.
So, yeah,
this
if you-
movie's deep.
If you could give it a 1 out of 5, where do you put it?
Shit.
The cinematography was shit.
Location was nice.
Location was decent.
The location, that's something I was going to read about. The location, this movie was filmed in like 4 different places. Go ahead and keep talking. I'll pull it back up.
Alright, so acting was shit. Music was shit. Location was decent. Cinematography, filmography, shit was shit.
Sound
Or
was
side
decent.
shit because of the
It was just
story.
it was a bit of a pilot. I give it a shit out of 5.
Yeah, okay.
A shit out of 5.
Yeah.
Don't even get a star.
Well, it's kind of a pile of shit. The one good thing, we wrote it right here. It was a comeback from Dunkelman. Not as good as your mom, not as good as your mother felt last night, though.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one thing that was very memorable
I've
for
heard
me.
better dialogue in Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
For real!
Yes.
What about you, Cody?
Even Naruto.
I've heard better dialogue in silent films.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, this was not an entertainingly bad film. The acting wasn't bad enough to be entertaining. The music wasn't bad enough to be entertaining. But the story was so bad that
The best of the worst.
Like, I feel like he didn't try to make a movie. Like, it's just awful.
Yeah.
So I just 1 out of 5.
It looks like he made it out of an obligation to make a movie, not because of a passion for an art form, but for
Honestly-
to make a
Yeah, quick
paycheck.
cash.
He got contracted for a rough draft and then just
Ran with it,
No,
yeah.
not a rough draft, just an outline.
Yeah.
damn.
But, like, okay, so with
No, an
that.
outline would have actually ended sooner.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyways, so the thing, it feels like Sam.
Yes, my boy.
It seemed like he tried to get like multiple stories into one. Like he started with one, and he was like, "Nah, scratch that." But like, I don't want to refilm any of this, so let's start with this, you know? Or I'm not really digging that, so let's go in this direction. That's how it felt, really.
Okay.
So you
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
Yeah.
Phil, you didn't really talk much the whole time.
I was just
Oh,
saying
shit.
because the most of the time you guys were already saying what was kind of on my mind about some of the stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing I just didn't like. Okay, I understood. Okay, I get the whole entire concept about these kids were born on the day that
They were born on the night, and they didn't give us a damn time. So for all we know, they were born like one of them was born at 12:01. The rest were born like 2 hours earlier. They're all preemies. Who the fuck knows?
And it's just funny because there's no significance to tie these kids to this serial killer besides that day. Like, if anything, it would have been a better story if they were to tie, I don't know, the police officers' kids to the serial killer, because the serial killer is like out to get like back at this
Retrospective corrections again.
Right.
So he's trying to that's what I was thinking, and I'm just like, oh god, this is kind of. So I would give it a rating as a 1 out of 5 as well. I've had watched this, keep going back and watching it maybe like more than like 2-3 times already, just because I like fell
Well, you
asleep.
saw it when it came out, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw it the first time it came out, and then I forgot all about it. I it left my mind.
Your brain just.
It was that
It
memorable.
was so bad. And I was just like,
Defense mechanism. It has been cleansed. Data not
telling
found.
me about it the other day. I was just like, wow, this sounds so familiar. And then I'm looking back and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I've seen this before. And I saw it when it came out in theaters, because usually most horror movies I go out and actually see it in theaters. This one I saw and I was just like, this is the worst like $10 I've wasted on my whole entire life. And I was pissed.
It'll be a while before I top that because I paid to see The Last Airbender. It's gonna take some time. I paid to see it in 3D, so I got hammered. Yeah.
That movie was literally. See, the sad thing
So you
was
just-
is at some point that movie, during its development, was going to reach a place of competence, and then M. Night was like, "Damn, I really like this chick as Katara. Let me try and dumb this down all around her."
Yeah, Harley. Anyways, so what about you, Doug? Where would you put it? Even as a Wes Craven film fan.
Well, yeah, no, I like
Down.
some Wes Craven
Down.
films, but this is
Good
a
girl.
terrible film. I mean, it did not know what it wanted to be. The
Thing,
beginning is like
baby.
rip off of The Shining,
Bad.
then it turns into a rip off of some X-Files thing, some episode where like the kids get together and do a fucking ritual, and then it turns into a teen slasher.
Yeah.
It doesn't know what it wants to
And then
be.
it turns
It
to
is-
Mean Girls for a couple
It
minutes.
turns into Mean Girls. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It's like that confused teenager. It's not sexually confused. It's just confused about what like shitty
Which click
fat,
it was.
Mean Girls
what
that
shitty fat
escalated
it wants
into a
to be.
full-blown
You
And it
understood,
tries to be
like,
all of them.
all of the Mean Girls scenes out of it and just introduced Fang at the end as the poor little girl.
I have an idea.
And it would have been
Leave the Mean Girls scenes, but have it at that already heightened level of full-blown fucking mafia at all times.
Yeah, it's like
That would have been an interesting one.
Or have all of the kids gather up at the lake next to a still intact ambulance, then have the ambulance explode. Just end it.
Fucking hell.
Have them all and at that gathering, but just have them drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I know you had to pretend to be a terrorist for a living at some point in your life, but not everything can be solved by a car bomb, Sam.
what if it doesn't have
the
like a
only thing I
jihadist
know.
blow himself up next to the ambulance and turn it into like a American Sniper film?
So I was really sad because I love going in knowing nothing about a movie. I worked at Hollywood Video. I have seen and appreciated B and C and sometimes even a D movie in my day.
There's only so many alphabets, though.
I know. But I mean, yeah, D's pretty much where it ends. Like, that's it.
Who has a larger alphabet than us?
I'd like to give it
The
a
Arab
Yeah.
alphabet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pick that one.
Sure.
Give me the lowest
this
fucking one, and then that's what I would give this movie.
They also invented
But
algebra, I
it
think.
started out
The worst
so
dot.
well. I mean, it started out cheesy as fuck with the fucking little prayer in the beginning. Now I lay me down to sleep, and then like Brandon being like, "We're the night of the Ripper," blah. But it was okay because then when he was like, "You gotta spit in the river," and then he was about to die, he was like, "I spit in the river, I spit in the river." I was like, "This is gonna be some funny shit. Awesome.
Why
Let's
did they
get into this good bad movie." movie.
But why did
it
they
wasn't
make
a good, bad
the Asian kid?
This is a bad.
The
just
token.
a bad movie.
You notice they gave the Asian kid as the first death. Like they gave him the shitty
The saddest,
token
pathetic
white
death.
girl in the movie death.
running,
They gave him the
Running through
bitches
the
always
sprinklers,
tripping over
like-
nothing death.
Yeah.
like Scream-esque type.
Yeah.
You see one
Yeah.
solitary
Because
motherfucker you
Scream-
don't know.
Scream knows that it's
In a
stupid
tiny
movie.
town
It's
on this
trying
one
to be
solitary
a
bridge, you
stupid
run.
movie,
Yeah.
and that's why people watch it. This movie, I was like, okay, it's gonna be one of those, like stupid on purpose. No,
No.
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 And then
It was-
it
it was-
tricked me because I swear to God, my theory with the split personalities is legit, and it would have, if it came to fruition, that would have been a good fucking movie. And I was like, it was gonna be a 3.
You know your theory went out the window
Like
as soon as they picked up the
2.2.
Asian kid's body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think did
As soon as the
Brandon
body
die
existed.
before or after that? Because okay, I have number 1 Jay Chan done, and then number 2 Brandon the douchebag, and then it says is real. Like at first I was like, oh shit, he's real. That punches a hole in my
Yeah.
fucking theory.
They found the Asian kid's body. So.
They found the Asian kid's body way before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
But
so-
I don't know.
If all the other split personalities were the good guys telling the main personality that one of them is a murderer and like not to listen to that nigga, why did the jock still grow up to be a piece of shit?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, okay, has
Because of
anybody
cliches.
seen Terra?
Yeah.
United States of Terra? Like your
seen it.
split personalities don't have to like each other. They don't have to get along.
I've heard that
they could be assholes.
But they explicitly stated that all of them except the one that's a murderer is cool. But why did one of them grow up to be a fucking rapist?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 2 things. One, the way you described it was like that one meme that's like when you say JK but you don't really mean JK, you were serious, but it's like SRS. That's how I feel like your response was to the movie.
Yeah.
And 2,
Yeah.
about like the split personalities, I've heard that like the separate personalities don't even know that they are there, that there are other personalities, is what I've
These
heard.
explicitly did though.
Yeah, these explicit.
Well, she's talking
They
about
explicitly
IRL,
warned
right?
him
You're
about
talking
a
about in real
specific
life.
person.
Yeah. Oh, yes, in real life.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Scratch all.
Because in the movie, like the other personalities, all of them, as a unified front, warned the main personality that one of them is a fucking murderer,
And they all knew about each other.
and they all knew
That's
about
not how
each
it
other.
worked. No, it doesn't work like that in real
That
life.
supports
Yeah.
the soul theory. It doesn't
souls.
support that.
Yeah, you're
But see,
right.
that's what I like. The split personality thing was just like a version of like how they said in Haiti we call split personality disorder fucking multiple souls.
Why did she bring that up?
It was supposed to.
No point. There was
Exactly.
No reason to bring that up.
They
Because
lead
it's
you.
bullshit.
They lead me
They
to
didn't know-
believe my theory.
She's black or she's not white, which means she obviously constantly thinks of her fucking supposed
heritage.
fake culture.
Yeah.
Because
So
it's
if
like it felt disrespectful to Haiti. Because I was like, yeah, she's black, but she has no accent. And she's a goddamn paramedic, and I'm pretty sure she's not gonna start telling
this is a
people about her
prequel to The Walking
superstitions
Dead.
for no
She
fucking
did
reason.
say that her grandma says.
Yeah.
Why would she
When
bring
she-
up
when
her
she was
grandma's
talking-
superstitions on the job?
Hey. I mean, I would.
Yeah, why would she unless it was fucking crucial to the fucking plot, which
Well,
is
obviously
why
you're
they
more
led
interesting
me
than she is.
astray.
Nothing was crucial
Led
to the
me
plot.
astray.
Is that
You had a lot of faith in the plot.
I really
I'm pretty
did.
sure Lacey
I
wouldn't
so
put the
did. I
murder
was
weapon
trying to
next
put
to the guy
pieces
who murdered
together
people.
So hard.
No, I wouldn't do that.
And whatever happened with the cop? Like they acted like he was going to be
The
this
one
big,
fucking
big
cop.
character. Like he was going to be this big swinging
They
dick
just
in the
dropped
movie.
it.
He did come
He's just
back.
like nothing.
Like swinging dick.
Why would it?
Swinging dick in the movie.
And he's nothing. He's
No.
just a swinging disappointment.
Yeah.
He's a swing. Well, on top of that,
It's just a
like,
big flaccid dog.
A small flaccid
Small
dog.
flaccid dog. So Ashley, what would you ultimately give it? You said it was almost a 3, but it made it into a what?
Yeah, it was a 1.
That was a
it
1.
Was barely. It was like half. I'd give it half a star.
Okay, Lacey, what about you for a movie? For a movie that
Yeah.
you managed to sit all the way through, and you got to watch the whole film.
You owe her an hour and 47 minutes
Yeah.
of her life back, Sam.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like I was thinking so much just because like I was like, oh, I gotta like actually like
I gotta put
take
this
notes.
together. I'm gonna solve.
I gotta be able to say things, and I was just calling things left and right and stuff.
You want me to not look at you? Does that make it easier?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's my thinking face.
Okay.
You're thinking face.
So I just thought about a joke that was just mean to myself.
Like your poop face.
Well, I said that was my thinking face, and in my head I wanted to be like, I know you don't see that often. But then I was like, oh, that's mean to me. I don't know. I'd probably actually give it like maybe like a 2 or a 3, just because it kept my interest somehow. So
Yeah.
it has to be. It has to be more than a 1.
All
It
the
kept
plot
my
holes.
interest.
So what would you rate it on?
I just said like a 2 or a 3.
You give it a 2 or a 3?
Yeah,
You know what? Like, unfortunately, I would say that by the end of this movie, I didn't know if I had enjoyed it or not, because I felt more like I was watching a slow death than I was watching a movie.
See, that's
And
why
I
you
wasn't
did
sure
that.
if I was happy that it was over or sad that I had to go through it. And
See, that's how I know you did like it, because I
wanted-
know how your mind
I
works.
wanted more.
You're happy you had something new to hate.
I wanted more.
yeah.
Like your mourning for your own time.
Right.
You just like spent watching this movie. 'Cause
So,
you slowed
I just
down.
lost a huge chunk of my finite existence to this.
I think I would give it. I think I would give it a 2, and the only reason I give it a 2 is because I knew in myself that it was going to stimulate conversation, and that in a way, by the end of the film, I said, "What?
we got shit to talk
What the
about."
fuck just happened?" And I was like, this is great, because if it had just been a bland ass Brown movie, then it wouldn't have been any fun to talk about. But I knew it was so devastating that it was like,
Why is it
this
gonna
is
be a bland brown?
Brown. It's a bland African American. I'm sorry to everyone.
You're racist.
Anyways, so we almighty gave it.
Thank you, Lacey.
You're welcome, Deborah. I got your back.
We almighty.
Somebody has to. I don't want him having my back. I don't know what kind of whip he'll use.
Do you also go by Toby?
Jesus.
My
What's black?
we all might have given this movie a 1 here or there. Each of us gave it a 1. Some of us gave it a 2 or a 3. But there are some people here on Amazon that gave this movie a 4 or even a 5 out of 5 stars.
God.
Let's hear what they have
That
to
was an
say.
accident.
That had to have been an accident.
So these are
They were blind, deaf, and dumb.
these are also verified purchases. So these are definitely all like.
Are these streams or hard copy purchases?
These are actual hard copy purchases.
Oh,
Really?
So this is Route 66 review on Amazon says the title of the review is. Are you tapping the bottom of that stick?
I don't think so.
Something's.
That was me, actually.
Oh, is that, yeah, I can't tell where it's coming from. I just hear something vibrating. Yeah.
Guitar.
The title of the review is, in my opinion, this is one of the best movies by Wes. In my opinion, this is one of the best movies by Wes Craven. It was really well thought out, and you felt for each character except that a-hole principal. I'm still wondering why he was not killed off. I would have gladly given this movie 5 stars for just that kill alone. Anyway, you spell it out. This is a really good horror flick that just kept building until the last drop of blood off of what was split a gallon of milk.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So this person.
Where'd the milk come from?
I think this person has a split
I
personality.
think this person is secretly advertising milk.
Got milk?
That's how we do it now.
Personality?
Advertising through someone else's reviews.
I think this is a great name, but A-Wall, another verified purchase on Amazon, says, I love Raul Esparza.
What?
With good acting and a very well put plot line, this movie proves to be a good example of what scary is and what it is not. Raul Esparza, awesome as always. Max there did a good job in his role, and if anyone who watched Friends will be surprised to see Susan, who's Ross's ex-wife and life partner, go ahead, give this good movie a watch.
What? I
What?
missed that. And who is Esparza?
Can we talk about how this edgy little son of a bitch called himself AWOL?
Yes, his name was A-Wall. Yeah.
Sounds like a sophisticate to me.
He was able. So he was in like 2 minutes of the movie, and apparently he performs really good.
So here's another.
This is bomb.
Because you know it's
more-
really hard to be a psychopath.
This person wrote a full write up of the movie, but we're just gonna read the first little paragraph here. But this is by Chris Pandolfi, the cerebral teen slasher film. This is a 4 out of 5 stars, but it is not a verified purchase. Few horror directors would have the nerve to experiment with the conventions of teen slasher film, to go beyond the reliable hallmarks of knife-wielding maniacs, bloody corpses, and paper-thin revenge plots. Perhaps that's exactly why Wes Craven wanted to write and direct My Soul to Take, which is unlike any slasher I've ever seen. In terms of atmosphere, it exists in a gray zone between dreariness and absurdity. In terms of structure, it's a bizarre, meandering dreamscape of grisly murders, horrific visions, and dread secrets. In terms of theme, it could be anything from a teenage social circle to the hereditary reincarnation of insanity for the California condor.
Wow, you really want this guy to review any movie.
An eater of the dead revered for its ability to clear away the old and usher in the new. I can't pretend that I understood this movie, but at the very least, I never once found it boring. And that is the first paragraph of a sizable.
What did he review that?
What is his name?
This was October 10th, 2010. He wrote this when it was in theaters still.
Wow.
So he went and saw this once and wrote
Paid
this out.
fucking shill.
Wow.
That's how reviewers work, though. They don't rewatch the shit they review.
Okay, so all these people are basically like the Nirvana fans that were still Nirvana fans even when they went shit.
Mm-hmm. They're still there waving their flag.
Yeah.
And there will always be people who wave, a flag for whatever it is that they're into.
And there's some of us who just left and started listening to the Strokes.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I'm really glad that we got to experience this as a family.
You're tearing this family apart,
And
Dad.
I look forward to the next piece of trash that we go through, but I feel like there's no good way to sort of like sort these up and try to grab a good bad movie. I feel like the best way to go about this is going to be to just pick out the movies based off of things I know. I've known about My Soul to Take for a little while now because I was reading into the biggest blockbuster flops that came out, and they're specifically ones that come from respected producers, and this is definitely one of them. I feel like maybe for next month, I'm not completely set on it yet, but I would be coming into this
Thanksgiving movie?
I would.
Oh God.
So
Home Alone 7?
what about Freebird?
The Reckoning.
Did you ever see?
And then we gotta do crappy Christmas movies.
Forrest Gump.
Well,
Hey, Forrest Gump was a fucking treasure.
Forrest Gump is an amazing movie.
It is. I just want to talk
Well,
about it.
I got a couple of films. I got a couple of films that I think that we should definitely watch, and we'll watch something.
All that shit.
We'll watch something the end of next month, and then obviously the end of December we're gonna watch.
I actually have
there's
a suggestion.
Fucking good. Well, we'll hold it until a couple of weeks from now. But that's our kind of train wreck off the rails review of My Soul to Take by Wes Craven. I'm really glad that you guys you watched it and you're here to record it, and if anybody else actually managed to take the time to watch the film, that's really
We're
cool.
sorry.
If you didn't, I still think I hope you got a good time hearing us rip it apart. And if you've got any interest or any questions or even corrections or anything that comes in, just anything that comes to mind, let us know. Write in and we'll read about it and we'll go from there. But I think for the end of the week and also for the end of the month of October, I want to thank you guys for listening to the first 4 episodes in the first month of the This House podcast. And I feel like it is a good time to sign off. We will catch you next Friday, the first week of November, and we'll get right back into the roll swing of things, how stuff's going, and we'll catch back up with you then. We'll be back 3 weeks from now with the title of the next film that we'll watch, and then 4 weeks from now we'll get together and just do this whole thing again. So thanks a lot for listening, and we will catch you next time. Later.
Deuces.
See ya, Space Cowboys.
Motherfuckers.